I just like kind of woke up one day like, yo, this is my time. This is my this is my thing. I run this, like nobody could really talk to me.
Hey everyone, have you heard the latest twist in the legendary rap feud between Drake and Kendrick Lamar? There's some serious chatter on the streets that Drake might have actually reached out to Kendrick in an effort to finally call a truce on this long-standing conflict. Rumors are swirling nonstop, and it feels like every day there's a new bombshell dropping in this epic saga. It seems like the tension between the two has reached a whole new level. Apparently, things got even more heated after the Grammys, and evidence is starting to point to Drake struggling hard to recover from all the fallout. I have it on good authority that after the awards, Drake was left reeling, trying to put the pieces back together as the backlash hit him like a ton of bricks. According to a source close to the situation, there's some serious buzz that Drake's been fighting back against a heavy wave of criticism and industry pressure that's been piling up. And it's almost like every move he makes is under a microscope now, with fans and insiders alike dissecting every detail of his actions. I mean, you have to wonder, what exactly pushed him to this point? Let me tell you, the tension really skyrocketed after Kendrick dropped that massive track. Some say it was like lighting a fuse that ignited this whole beef into an uncontrollable blaze. There's a lot more going on behind the scenes than meets the eye, and trust me, you're not going to want to miss a single shocking detail as we break everything down.
It's really all in the music at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you can rock with that person.
Right.
And they give you a trash song and you be like, I'm not inspired by it. So the record just had to be something that I can connect to.
Why just a single word for every song?
It just,
and did it get hard when you start thinking like, damn?
Oh, that's too something.
Like, what am I, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
If you can see that list was like Scrabble, man, trying to figure out what emotion captured the actual lyrics.
Stick around because we're about to uncover every twist and turn in this wild narrative. Let's get into it. After Kendrick dropped Not Like Us, everything really took off in a big way. Like, the entire scene just exploded overnight. The track turned into a massive anthem that resonated with fans everywhere, and huge names like Serena Williams, Beyoncé, and Taylor Swift were all seen vibing to it, which made the impact totally undeniable. People close to the scene are saying the energy around Kendrick's release was just off the charts, sending shockwaves through the industry that you wouldn't believe. And it's not just about the music. The whole cultural vibe shifted as soon as that track hit the airwaves. Meanwhile, evidence is starting to point to Drake's industry support crumbling fast, leaving him in a seriously tough spot as his backers seem to be slipping away one by one. Insiders are mentioning that even his own label, Universal Music Group, might have started to turn their backs on him, which is a huge deal in the cutthroat world of hip-hop. And there's more. Producer Metro Boomin and rapper Future are reportedly siding with Kendrick, adding yet another layer of drama to an already intense situation. They are hinting that Drake might have used some, questionable industry tactics to try and undercut his competitors, and that move is really stirring up a storm among fans and insiders alike. This alleged tactic has sparked debates that seem to be growing by the minute, with some experts suggesting it's completely reshaping loyalties across the board. It's like every time you think you've seen all the drama, another bombshell drops that makes you question everything you thought you knew. Just imagine how intense it must be behind the scenes as people choose sides and the stakes keep getting higher. Stick around as we break down even more surprising details and ask the hard questions that everyone's dying to know.
Well, I think it was also because I made that a part of the show that was unpredictable. So at the time I was legit, sometimes I would, do the first few bars and then switch it, or I would genuinely just freestyle with the auto-tune, so I think people started being like, oh, what's gonna be said tonight?
Drake's moves have taken a wild turn recently, and sources are saying he filed lawsuits against both Spotify and Universal Music Group, claiming they manipulated streaming numbers to favor Kendrick's track. Apparently, evidence is starting to point to Drake taking this drastic legal step as a way to fight back when things seem to spiral out of control. Now, word is that this lawsuit actually backfired in a big way, causing even more trouble than he ever expected. Some insiders say that UMG, which had supported Drake for years, might have just abandoned him at a critical moment, leaving him to face the storm alone without the backup he once relied on. There are even rumors buzzing around that CEO Lucian Grange was spotted celebrating Kendrick's Grammy win with Dr. Dre, which many are interpreting as a sign that he might now be on Kendrick's side. This has led to some heavy chatter in the industry that Drake could be facing some serious fallout, with even suggestions that he might be getting blacklisted if things keep heading in this direction. Imagine the pressure behind the scenes as loyalties shift and new alliances form, completely reshaping the entire landscape of the music industry. And it's not just about the lawsuits. The whole scenario has ignited a firestorm of controversy that shows no signs of cooling off anytime soon. Now, things are getting even more tangled and complex. According to some sources, the lawsuit against UMG took an even wilder twist when producer Lil Rod filed legal claims against Diddy for adding another unexpected and controversial layer to this drama. And that's not all. Evidence is starting to point to Lucian Grange, UMG's CEO, being named as a co-defendant early on, which has really everyone talking. Some insiders are saying there are serious accusations floating around that he may have enabled Diddy's shady activities behind the scenes, further muddying the waters in an already complex situation. Drake's lawsuit, in its own way, has really shone a light on UMG's potential involvement in covering up some deep industry scandals.
My mother, I think I get the words from my mother. I mean, she was an English teacher. She taught like kindergarten to grade 5, and just one of the most intelligent people I've ever met. Scrabble champion.
Is she really?
Yeah, she's a top shelf lady.
Sparking even more controversy and heated debate among those in the know. It's like every time you think you've seen it all, another bombshell drops that leaves everyone completely stunned and reeling in disbelief. Some experts who are familiar with the situation imply that this might just be the tip of the iceberg, raising some serious questions about what else could be hidden behind those closed industry doors. Can you imagine the shockwaves if all these claims turn out to be true? Let us know what you think about this wild twist in the comments below. Every opinion counts as we try to piece together this puzzling saga. It looks like the public is really starting to turn against Drake in a big way. Fans are even calling him a colonizer, a term that was originally thrown around in Kendrick's diss, and it's catching on faster than anyone could have imagined. And instead of firing back with more music, Drake's choice to resort to lawsuits seems to have only pushed even more people away, making the situation messier than ever. There's serious buzz from insiders that even some of the biggest names in the industry are feeling alienated by his moves and his overall approach to handling this feud. Meanwhile, evidence is starting to point to Kendrick accusing Drake of some pretty serious, predatory behavior. He's even been compared to Diddy, with hints that his mansion might be next on the raid list if things escalate further. Drake did try to address these allegations in his track, The Heart Part 6, but that response only seems to have fueled even more suspicion among fans and critics alike. It leaves you wondering, is this just part of the drama, or is there something deeper going on that we're not seeing? The more the story unfolds, the more it feels like every revelation just adds another layer to this complex narrative. And it's getting hard to tell which side is truly in the right as the public's opinion shifts like the wind.
Yeah, I just, it's a shame if you don't notice the shift in energy around you. I mean, you can't be oblivious to what's going on around you. And I just like kind of woke up one day like, yo, this is my time. This is my this is my thing. I run this, like nobody could really talk to me. I'm good at what I do.
Now, it seems like Drake's career is really in jeopardy right now, and the signs definitely aren't looking good. According to insiders, his lawsuit against UMG didn't just hurt his reputation. It could seriously jeopardize his entire future in the music industry. I mean, sources say that UMG once treated him like hip-hop royalty, even handing him a massive $500 million deal that showcased just how high his status used to be. But now, it's reported that they might be cutting ties completely, leaving him to fend for himself in an industry that's as unforgiving as it is competitive. And, what's even more concerning is that UMG used to push Drake's music hard on streaming platforms, giving him that enormous spotlight to shine in. If they turn against him now, his career could take a major hit, one that might be really hard, if not impossible, to bounce back from. Some experts are saying that this move might just be the tipping point for Drake's future in music, fundamentally altering his legacy in ways we can hardly imagine. What do you think this means for his legacy? Could this be the end of an era for one of hip-hop's biggest stars? Or is there still a chance for a dramatic comeback? It seems like amid all this chaos, Drake might be making a surprising move here, facing industry rejection and public humiliation. Sources are now saying he may have reached out to Kendrick in a bid to finally put an end to this bitter, long-standing beef. Drake was recently spotted at a concert wearing a hoodie with bullet holes and even smoke coming out of it. Some insiders are implying that this was a symbolic gesture, almost like a visual admission that he got smoked by Kendrick. It's a bold, almost desperate move that has everyone talking and wondering what he's really trying to say. Meanwhile, Kendrick, in a recent interview, casually hinted that he was ready to move on, describing the beef as just for sport, and suggesting that all this drama might finally be coming to an end. Evidence is starting to point to Kendrick wanting to let go of the tension and focus on his next chapter.
I know how it works, so I don't even want to, gravitate towards it. I want to go out there and I want to see, is you sitting in the crowd looking at me with the mummy face?
Then I can actually go directly to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Or is you, enjoying yourself, you feel me?
Leaving the past behind him. But here's the kicker. Drake's motives still remain a bit murky and hard to decipher. Is he really offering a genuine truce out of a need to salvage his career? Or is there some hidden agenda behind his move that we're not fully seeing yet? Some experts familiar with the situation suggest that this could very well be a strategic play on his part as he faces increasing backlash and dwindling support from key industry figures. It raises the question, is this a moment of vulnerability for Drake, or a calculated step in a bigger game? As we piece together the clues, one thing is clear. This saga is anything but simple. And as the public watches every move with bated breath, the stakes have never been higher for both artists. As we wrap things up, it looks like Drake's feud with Kendrick has really left him isolated in the industry. Evidence is starting to point to his lawsuits against UMG and Spotify backfiring in a big way, sparking all sorts of rumors that he might even be getting blacklisted if he doesn't change course soon. With industry powerhouses allegedly siding with Kendrick, it's said that Drake may have no choice but to reach out for a truce if he wants to salvage what's left of his career and reputation. Meanwhile, Kendrick seems to be moving on from all the drama, focusing on what's next and leaving us all to wonder, will Drake have to accept defeat after all this chaos? It's a dramatic moment that leaves us with so many questions about loyalty, ambition, and the true cost of fame in the cutthroat world of hip-hop. What do you think is next in this wild saga? And where do you see things going from here? Could this be a turning point for one of the biggest names in the game? Or is it the beginning of a long and bitter downfall? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, every opinion counts in this ever-evolving story. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to stay on top of every twist and turn in this unbelievable saga, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more updates and insights.